Would George, Melo, and Wade be enough for Cleveland to pass the Warriors, Will?
I'm sorry, it's going to hurt feelings, but absolutely not. Look, Paul George over Kevin Love is an improvement. It's a nice improvement, John, by I think about 2 points per game according to several metrics. That's not enough. That's not enough to catch the Warriors. Add Carmelo to that. Add Dwyane Wade to that. It's still not enough. I mean, if you're trying to make the all over 30 team, it's starting to look pretty good. But the big words in there are not only over 30, but team aspect of this game. You put all those players together, D-Wade, Carmelo, Paul George, LeBron, you still have to be a team. You have to be that exact thing that, by the way, you preached in our pre-show meeting.
Preach. That
the Warriors have exemplified how to play team ball with 4 All-Stars. You're telling me you're going to drop all of these guys who are used to playing ISO hero ball, being the man on their team for their entire careers, all onto the same team at the ages of, I think it would be 32, 34, and 35, and it's going to be enough to overcome the Warriors? It's not even going to be close to enough. I'll leave you with this. I understand, though. I understand why you got to do it. John, I know you live clean. I know you're vegan. Yeah. I don't know. Do you gamble?
No.
That's off of the clean living agenda?
No, I just don't like.
Where are you going with this?
Well, everyone who does gamble has been at the table. Be that poker, be that blackjack, and your chips keep getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And you get to the point where you're like, all I got left is this little stack right here. And I got to go all in no matter what the hand is. No matter which cards are sitting in my hand, I might as well push that out to the center because I can't leverage it anymore. I got to push it out and see how it plays. That's where the Cavs are. LeBron's a great card to have in your hand, but your chip stack is getting smaller and smaller. You're competing against the Warriors. I understand if you got to push it all to the center and see if you can draw Carmelo, see if you can draw the Paul George card, but even if you do, your hand is lost. This thing's over for them.
No, because see, this is what happens when you get people over 30. When you get guys over 30, you start thinking, and you start pacing yourself. Now, the 4 that you mentioned, Carmelo, Paul George, LeBron, and Wade, weren't they like on one of the dream teams? Weren't they Olympians together?
That works when you're playing Lithuania.
Right, but Lithuania.
Not the Warriors.
But see, you're not playing the Warriors until the playoffs. And guys who know how to pace themselves and realize they're not there to make money. They've already made their money. When you got guys in the playoffs who are there to play for pride, pride changes everything. And to say, hey, we're going to get to hang out with one another, and all we have to do is beat the Warriors. So they got to get to the finals, then it all changes. And I'm going to say, I haven't gambled because I'm cheap, but I would definitely agree with Carmelo going to New York. I would agree with D-Wade to Cleveland. Leaving New York and going to Cleveland, and I think D-Wade being back with LeBron changes the entire atmosphere. It's going to change the atmosphere of the guys with the Warriors, too. They have different things to worry about.
Listen, I respect your basketball knowledge. You have forgotten more basketball knowledge than I will ever know. However, I'm pretty decent at looking at logical holes in what someone says. You know what it is to play team basketball. You've won an NBA championship. How many did you win in total?
I deserve 7, won 4.
How are you going to take Kyrie, D-Wade, Carmelo, LeBron James, and Paul George? By the way, every single one of them players who need the ball in their hands. It's not like any of these guys sit in the corner and go, I'll wait for my pass. I'll spot up. I'll be there to shoot the 3 the way Kevin Love does in the corner. None of these guys play that way. So every shot Carmelo takes, every 15 seconds he drains off a shot clock is coming at the expense of what many consider to be the best player in the game and one of the best in the history of the game, LeBron James.
Right.
Everything he does takes away from LeBron James.
But LeBron is more like Magic than he is like Kareem, who needed the ball in his hand. So LeBron wants to pass the ball. Now you pass it to another 6'10" kid who is looking forward to having a winning season. That's in Carmelo. Then you have D-Wade, who knows how to fill it in. There's no double teaming. You got smarter players playing. These guys will get people fouled out before. The only thing that's going to be bad about it is going to be boring basketball because it's going to be under 100 points.
Here's the real gamble.
Yeah.
How many games would they play together? Could
how
you
many
get
injuries would there be?
Yes, 35. D-Wade, right now, 35 years old. LeBron, going to be 33. Paul George is the only one under 30. Carmelo, I think, was Carmelo 33 as well, same age as LeBron, roughly. Paul George, the only one under the age of 30. You're going to take all these guys, 3 of the 5, well over 30, and you're going to play how many games together in the race? How about in the
Legacy.
playoffs? Are they even going to be together when the playoffs come? You know what this reminds me of?
Yeah.
Lakers.
Yeah.
This reminds me of Karl Malone and Gary Payton going to the Lakers. That's what this idea sounds like.
No, it should remind you of the Celtics when they had Larry, and they had Parrish, and they had DJ, and they had McHale, and they had Maxwell, all over 30. That's what it should remind you of when guys play, because this becomes a man game right now. You're looking at it because we so right now are used to having 19 to 25-year-olds. But when you got seasoned players who have more than 8, 10 years in their game, the game changes. It's like that, hey, young fella, let me show you how to do it. One time, I literally had to ask Parrish how he was beating me up and down court. He said, I learned how to pace myself. So getting a team that thinks that way, a team that is seasoned, that doesn't have an ego on who does the scoring because they know the end result, that's the team I put my chips on.
It sounds like John thinks they can recalibrate their mentality in order to potentially win a ring. You don't think they can do that, some of these guys?
Yeah, John is arguing that a Tiger can change his stripes 12, 13 years into his NBA career.
Now we're going to talk about Tiger.
And John is arguing at the age of 32 or 33, because you want a ring so bad, you can change who you fundamentally are.
Right.
And I fundamentally think that's a horrible bet. That is a bad bet to make, that Carmelo Anthony can change who he's been for his entire career. That has served him very well as far as his individual career has been concerned.
Mm-hmm.
He's been the man on every single team he's ever played upon. You're right, Dwyane Wade learned how to coexist with LeBron James. For what it's worth, Paul George has only ever been the man
Correct.
on
He's
his
never
career.
had the opportunity to.
Yeah.
So what I'm telling you is I think that's a bad bet, to take a bunch of 30-year-olds who are going to totally reform their game. One of us sounds like the fan, and one of us sounds like the guy that understands how team dynamic works.
I do.
You're putting together an
Understand team
all-star
dynamic.
fan team and expecting it's all just going to mesh because, oh, what? The Olympics work against Lithuania?